Good evening, everybody. We're going to start the meeting off tonight with the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody would like to rise and remove your head gear. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody here. This is Tuesday, September the 9th, 2025 at the Dublin Town Hall. It's our regular monthly meeting. We always like to give priority to our guests that are present and let them get an opportunity to speak, because sometimes these meetings can be long and boring, and that gives them an opportunity to leave if they wish. So we'll open the floor up to the guests, and we'll start off with George and Shirley. Do you have anything you'd like to present at the moment?
Yes. They tell me I can't run my dog with my lawn tractor in town anymore.
Well, there is an ordinance
for
that's
25, 30 years.
kind of in draft mode. It hasn't been voted on yet. But yeah, it's in a draft mode as we speak. So we've changed that a few times. So yeah, we are still working on that. But
Okay.
yeah, please voice your concern that you might have, just to give everybody an idea of what you do and how you do it and so forth.
Well, I just take him out. Hope my big shepherd's good. I can't lead him, but shoulder operations. And I just take him around the alleys, and most of the time I go down Schoolfield Road down through there where there's hardly any traffic.
And you do this on a lawnmower riding tractor.
Right. Just hook him to it.
It has no deck on it. It's just the tractor only. And we stay on all the back roads. We wait till the school buses have all run. We never run it when the school buses are going. So,
We watch it. I drove a lot of years and I ain't had no accidents yet. Hadn't run over anybody, whatever.
our veterinarian said that's a very good way to run your dogs and exercise them. Take them with the mower like that, especially if you got health issues or something like that.
Sure.
So that's one of the issues. And another issue is your son. We seen him on Delaware the other day on a riding mower, and he wasn't going to mow. He was going down to the parade carrying a bunch of little, And I mean, I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying, if they're going to pick on us for being on the road, there's other people using it too besides us. We've been doing it for 34 years.
That was an exception. The grocery store thingy.
In fact, there was 2 of them on the road there that day, Sunday. But,
Well, that's all I got to say.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Pam.
My concern is I'm here for George. I also have a dog, and George and Shirley have been so helpful in helping me train this wild dog, and they hook her up. They do that in the mornings, and as you say, they just go along the alleys and roads that aren't really busy. He always tries not to take her around other dogs to worry them. And my concern is, I guess my question is, what brought this on about lawnmowers? Why is this a concern to the town? Because I haven't seen that there's a problem with lawnmowers, but is there?
Anybody want to comment on that from the board? Or really meant to
There's
me?
several driving around town now that they're using them not as a dog walking tool or a landscaping service. They're using them as a mode of transportation. Without a deck, going to the dollar store, driving down 40. And I feel it's a concern because, for one, if something happened, if there was an accident, there's no insurance. So if somebody's smashed into somebody's car parked on the road, there's no insurance, no liability there. And the other thing is, other vehicles such as quads, side-by-sides, motorcycles, they all have to follow the state regulations of, license plates, insurance, valid driver's license. We have the golf cart ordinance in place where golf cart owners can pay a fee, and they also have to follow insurance, permit, whatever, slow moving vehicle, valid driver's license, no children. So now we've seen children also driving lawnmowers,
I've
which
seen that.
is a concern to me. And so I just feel like it's kind of gotten out of control. Like,
I think my concern is making it a blanket thing, you know, would possibly hurt people like George or people that do landscaping, that go from one place to another. I don't know. I just hope that there's a different way to approach it. Maybe pay a fee, or maybe sign up that you want to do this, or so the town is aware. Because I'm really concerned, like, where is this going to lead? What about bicycles? What about kids on
I
bicycles?
think the electric bicycles are going to be a huge issue in years to come. Not just saying Dublin, I'm saying
Yes.
in general. Electric bikes are going to become an issue.
They already are in bigger cities.
I rode my daughter's the other day and I was scared to be on it. That's how fast it was going.
Mhm.
It made me
But no, I
nervous.
see what you mean, I do.
Yeah, because, you know, kids like to ride bicycles, and I just wonder, you know, where this is going, if you're concerned about insurance and kids and all this kind of thing. You know, it just seems like that's the next logical step. And I would like to see the town make a decision where people could like pay a fee, or they are given this privilege for some certain purpose, as George is. He does it for a purpose to walk the dogs, and I don't know. I'd like to see something different than just a blanket ordinance against such things. That was my concern.
So where are the clarifications?
I don't think there was, it didn't take it away completely. It's treating it like a golf cart where you have to come in and get a plate for it, you have to have insurance. Now
That's the problem.
that's the
There's no
problem. So I'm not sure how legally we can do
And
that.
also
if
in the
there's
last phrase,
not
that
insurance.
provided, if the use and or driving the lawnmower is solely related to providing lawn maintenance, then these provisions shall not apply. When you were talking about going from one yard to another to mow,
Right.
that would be providing lawn
Well,
maintenance.
what they're talking about right before he came in is they use it to walk their dogs around town
So that would
for
be
health
lawn
reasons.
maintenance, yeah.
For health reasons, so.
And another safety issue are those rabbits in town. They should either be in
That's a whole
pens,
nother story.
because, I mean, you see traffic coming and they miss the rabbits, or someday they're gonna get it. The children are dodging them with their bicycles, and now if you wanna talk danger, to me, children's more, yes,
I agree with
to
that.
think about it. They are a distraction. You can ask Pam, she's living right next door there, and they're a distraction to all the dogs in the neighborhood, day and night. Because I even know my dogs will bark more now because of them, because they're right up to their fence.
I think we have someone in town that is catching them.
Okay.
Your neighbor on the other side, she was, I'm not sure
Well,
if
she
still
has
is.
some. She had several, but hers aren't out.
Right, but she was catching, but the thing she told me, which I didn't realize, is how often they reproduce.
Oh, yes.
I think
So
within
it's
30 days.
it's like we're worse than cats.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I'm not sure.
She does things differently. She raises them. She has them confined either in an outside hutch or in her home, and she processes them for meat.
So it's vegetarian.
It's a little different.
Okay, anything else?
No?
Okay. John?
I have nothing this time.
Okay. All right. That's it for the guests. We have Thomas with us today, but Thomas is not here. So Thomas sent his proxy, Walker, and you're from Commonwealth Engineers that are doing our water grant. So what do you have tonight for us, sir?
Yeah, so I've got a number of closeout items for the CDPG Water Utility Improvements Project. I was completion. First item I had was a change order. This change order included a number of items. The total net increase to the contract price of $4,527.39.
We did talk a little bit about that last month, we just didn't have the paperwork in front of us to be able to fully approve it, so.
And from that last month, there were a couple items that were added. There were 2 net credits added. But I'll go over all the items just in case none of you are.
You got the floor.
Gotcha. Okay. So the first item was the dehumidifier replacement at the water treatment plant. Basically during construction we discovered that the existing dehumidifier was not working and needed to be replaced. The second item was for the well number 2 casing, where during cleaning it was discovered that there was a hole in the casing, so that had to be repaired. The third item was the well number 2 runtime monitoring. Basically with the introduction of the VFDs at the water treatment plant, this removed the existing runtime monitoring for the wells. So this introduced a runtime monitoring for the new well with the new VFDs.
Sure.
For the fourth item, we have an alternative installation method for valve V7. It was determined that essentially draining the tank would be too much of a disruption for the town, so we included a line stop for that installation. And the fifth item was a credit for that original installation method, since there is now a line stop being added. The sixth item was a time extension for the contractor to deal with the additional, or the change in methodology for the V7 valve replacement, in addition to the runtime monitoring, and for the electrical contractor to install that. And then these last 2 items, the 4-inch flange 8-valve credit and the customer meter credit, were for unused items for the project.
Yeah, we got a credit because we didn't need them. Very good.
I do have a copy if somebody wants. I only have 1 copy of everything, but you guys can look at that if you want.
So the next item I had was pay application number 2. This was the final pay application for the project and included the change order into that. This had a total payment of $272,984.96. In addition to the pay application, there also is a final waiver of lien, a consent of surety, and a signed punch list by the contractor. The next item was a certificate of substantial completion, basically just certifying that the contractor had reached substantial completion.
Lenny, would you agree with that?
I didn't catch it.
Do you agree that the contractor has reached substantial completion? for the-
Yes, yes. The only thing I think he had left to do was put some grass seed over at the school once that's settled.
Mhm. And I believe we're going to be treating that as a warranty item so they can reach completion without having that done.
Okay.
2 additional items are the certificate of accessibility and the final inspection project completion for the labor standards form. These are the 2 upper forms that they require. One, the certification of accessibility, just certifying that all applicable handicap standards of accessibility are followed for the project. And then the labor standards form, having a date for the final completion, final inspection, for the purposes of labor standards. The last item I had, this is in regards to the Dublin water treatment plant project grant. So an update for that. So we originally submitted the RD application back in August, and we received comments back from RD. So there's a number of them. In regard to the environmental report, we currently have, we're awaiting additional info and I believe a letter to include with the ER application to add that. But for the other items, Thomas has been coordinating with Julia. Essentially, we are going to need a update for the basically updated financial documents from the town. RD essentially requires that if they are past 60 days from when the application is submitted, they have to be updated. And then there's also going to have to be a public meeting for the USDA RD application. And I believe Thomas said that could either happen midweek at 11 a.m. or at the next council meeting.
I think in order to meet our 10 days, we actually have a budget meeting on September 23rd. And it will take maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do this. So we are gonna add that on to that meeting.
Is that your public hearing?
Yes,
When is that in September?
September 23rd at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock or 6:30.
And public hearing
Yes,
for water grant.
it'll be at 6:30, my bad, I'm sorry. September 23rd at 6:30.
All right, what else do you have, sir?
The last item I had is for the environmental report for that grant application. There's a letter that needs to be signed by the council president, essentially certifying that the various item regulations will be followed as a part of the project.
I happen to know that guy.
And basically certified that the letter's been read and they agree with that their standards will be followed. I do have a signed version from our environmental scientist as an update. I believe you may just have a blank form, so I updated the form with that signature.
Okay. Bob, would it be appropriate just to approve this whole package
I think so.
instead of doing every
Unless,
things at
unless
one by
somebody
one?
has a problem with one of them and is gonna vote differently on one versus the other.
Good with that.
Basically, we're just making a motion to approve signatures for all completion of this phase of the water grant will be about the easiest way to put it, I think.
Well, and change order, didn't you?
And the change order number 2. Yeah. If somebody wants to make that motion? Okay, motion by Gene, is there a second?
Second?
Second by Bree, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
I think that would also include confirmation of substantial completion. You want that on public record?
Correct.
That's part of that motion.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's all for me.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
And then will you guys be at the public hearing, or will you be there, Thomas be there?
I'm not. Thomas will likely be the one there, but I don't know that for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, he said that he would be here.
Very good. Well, thanks for seeing us tonight. Appreciate
Not a
it.
problem. Yeah, just if you can provide a scanned copy of the signed pages to me or Thomas,
Yep.
I'd appreciate it.
I'll send this and the financial report tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you all for your time.
Thanks,
Thank you.
sir. All right, did everybody have a chance to read last month's minutes? And if so, we will approve them along with the adjustments and the bank report.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes and adjustments as presented.
Okay, is there a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Police report, chief. Welcome, good to see you tonight.
Good to be here. Looks like we had 28 calls last month, down a little bit from what we normally are, it looks like.
That's good.
We had one business alarm, one animal problem, one business check, one civil dispute, 2 community policing, one escort, one harassment, one investigate mischief, one investigate theft, one investigation, one property damage accident, one reckless driver, 3 speeding officers, one special patrol, one suspicious activity, one suspicious vehicle, 5 traffic stops, 1 unknown problem, 2 VIN checks, and 1 wanted person.
Any questions for Chief Roberts?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Are these strictly in the town of Dublin?
Yes. Yeah, actually, I did a printout for Cambridge City total, which includes Dublin. I think we had 300 or 200.
Yeah, just keep them all down there.
297 calls. We're like 2,668 calls for the year total.
I will share with you a couple of verbal complaints that we get often.
Sure.
One is here at the stoplight going north. The person on the corner complains a lot about the speed of traffic. I don't know personally how it's physically possible because of how you're turning the corner, but I want to share that with you.
I actually talked to Gene a little bit about that, and I'm not sure how that's possible either, but
I don't know what you can do about it.
I know when we talk.
Especially because it's a type of a stoplight that stays, on for 40. So in order for the side street to get activated, you actually have to stop there and hit the pad at the stop sign, so it's not ever green unless you're there.
Yeah.
So I don't foresee how you're speeding through that.
I think he's talking more of them coming this way and heading north.
But still having to turn though.
Yeah, I did notice that the closest, and I mean, everybody should assume that they know what the speed limits are in town, granted. But the closest sign is like 2 blocks up in front of Jake's. Yeah, so I don't know if that's even an option, just to put a sign right here where people can see it. I
mean, we can try to do some more targeted enforcement there just to see how it goes, but
Maybe just more visibility.
yeah, part of the problem is having a place to park that's not in somebody's property. We can take a look at that and see what's available,
But maybe visibility will help, so.
we do set on Johnson Street a lot, mostly north. Lenny knows when we set at the north building a lot, and then the fire station auxiliary or whatever it is there, we set in there quite a bit too, but just because there's a place for us to park, so. But we definitely can take a closer look at it.
And then the other one's on Delaware, where the house is in the hill. He's asked us about lowering the speed limit, and it's the county's responsibility there. So we've passed that along, but you might just put some visibility there as well.
I think when you go to start looking at changing speed limits and all that, it's covered in a specific section in the IC code. There has to be an engineering study and a traffic study and some other stuff that normally goes along with it. Depending on how far you're changing it, either up or down, but again, that's a county road, so we don't have a lot of.
And I have, expressed as much concern as I can to the county, so it's in their hands. So if you get any complaints from the homeowner saying the town's not doing nothing, we did as much as we can do.
Okay.
So it's not our problem, I guess, and we've turned it over to them. So
that house is really the only one in that stretch of road right there, but.
And sometimes, people don't have a radar to know how fast the car's really going, so they're making an assumption.
Absolutely.
And I see them sitting down there a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So.
My understanding is when county gets done with their study equipment where it's at, that they've promised him that they will put it
Do a
there
study
and do
there.
a study. I'm not sure when, but.
I think they're gonna find, the house is close enough to the stop sign that it's not as big a problem as he really thinks that it is. Like I said, sometimes vehicles sound like they're going faster than they actually are, depending on exhaust and all that stuff, but, we're on Delaware a lot too, not necessarily sitting, but traveling on Delaware, especially between Cambridge and here, but.
I don't drive very fast, and for me to get up to speed, I pay extra attention, and I'm usually hardly ever even going 45 yet. But I don't stand
Actually,
on
when
it.
you drive through there, it seems like it ought to be 30, and that's what most people, because of the houses down through there.
You stop at whatever.
Yeah, Signs Creek.
Yeah, and then to
Boundary,
get up to
whatever.
speed,
Yeah.
I
Just
don't know.
drop off, Julie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, down on where we live down there, where Linden is.
Right.
That corner right there is bringing Goulet up to State Street, and that curve there, people are just flying this way and that way, and we've talked with Linden and Mike and everybody down there. One of these days, they're gonna collide there and have one heck of a wreck.
That's a bad curve anyway, just
Yeah.
in general, but,
Yeah.
because you can't see from the houses, too far north or south.
We have a lady there that has to back out,
Yeah.
and I'm afraid one of these days she might be backing out and not see the one coming, especially from the south.
Yeah.
Bob, I'm thinking out loud here. Is there a ordinance or anything that has to happen for, like, if you put a speed bump in the street? How does that work?
I think it's on one of the town streets, you guys could opt to do that.
They actually make temporary speed bumps that you can put in that are quite a nuisance.
I think that's probably gonna generate more complaints than.
I love taking
the one or
complaints.
two, the one or two people that are, you know, causing the problem. But that's
I
your decision,
understand,
but
so. If it come down to that point.
I can see, you know, through the park, replacing those that used to be there, you know, that kind of thing, but on the regular city street, that's gonna be.
You rarely have them on public streets, usually in a park, public grounds.
Especially when you're speeding 30 miles an hour, yeah. What is your thoughts on this golf cart lawnmower ordinance we're thinking about? Is it something we can?
True, honestly, I'm not sure that we need to try to enforce ordinance on a lawnmower. I do see the point, because I have seen what you're talking about. I know there's one kid that's probably about 10 years old, rides to the post office all the time on a lawnmower. I think the kid's homeschooled, so he's not in school most of the time, but it's not a good thing. But is it as big a problem as, you know, that we need to take action on an ordinance? I don't know. That's up to you all to decide that.
Seemed to me like the biggest problem with the lawnmower is they ride them on the sidewalks. My understanding of the ordinance we have, golf carts not allowed on the sidewalks.
Yeah, but there's specific,
Block to block. Now, to come,
you know,
you
specific
know, turn the
things.
corner, go down to the house or something's one thing, but
Yeah.
go block to block to block to.
I don't normally see that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not something I normally see. You know, obviously I'm not up here 24 hours a day. You know. That's something we could probably address without an ordinance, just, you know, hey, keep it,
Then
keep
the
it
other
off the
thing,
sidewalk.
my understanding is that they're not allowed on 40 at all. It's a state highway.
I think when you and I talked, we had a guy several years ago that would ride from Mount Auburn to the truck stop on a mower to go get something to eat. And he did that routinely.
We have one that comes from town, takes the alleys, gets out on 40 to go down to Highway Springs. But he's either on a sidewalk or he's on 40 in Mount Auburn. And when you get, you know, as far as he can get in alleys and back streets.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but that's up to you guys. I mean, if you think it's that big a problem, we can try to address it, but I'm not here as much as you all are. I don't see everything. We do spend a lot of time up here. But I personally don't see it as a problem.
Okay, anything else for Chief Roberts?
Where's Seth?
He's home.
Okay, well, we noticed somebody else was driving Jesse.
Oh, he was just off for the weekend, and we
Okay.
needed a car, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just one of those weekends that the way it fell, and we needed some extra help because of canal days, so somebody used his car.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he just got back from Texas, from a week's training down there too, so taking a couple days off.
Thank you, sir. I think you guys do a fantastic job. You know, I can look out the window every morning and almost see, you know, what time the patrol car goes by, so.
I see him throughout the day and night.
I do too.
It would be very difficult to track the amount of time that we actually spend up here, but I know, me personally, I'm up here a lot too, but it's good to know that you are seeing our cars.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know.
Camera, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like,
Yeah.
I like that too.
Okay, we're gonna keep moving right along to the fire report.
August 2025, 0 ALS runs, BLS 129, 5 runs with Reed, fire runs, 1 vehicle fire with Strawn, 1 structure fire assist with Cambridge City, 0 water.
Any questions for fire department? All right, Lenny, what you got for a building commissioner?
Let's see. We have, I believe we just have 2. It's a roof replacement, and the other one was a new shed barn.
Any questions for Lenny on the superintendent's, or on the building commissioner's report? All right, put your other hat on.
Just a reminder that there is a zoning board of appeals meeting set for this September 18th here at the town hall at 6:30.
Two from the doghouse, one.
Yes.
So it's a multiple, nice. Okay, superintendent report.
You have your reports.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on your spell checking. It looks bad for you. Well, I don't want you to be dying on me. It's like get leaf back out, figure out why I was dying last year. I don't want you dying on us. I need you. I need you, Lenny. So how's everything looking as far as leaf pickup, equipment, snow removal coming up? Give us the full down.
We have the leaf vac is up and going. We did find the issue with that. Just gearing up for leaf, and then we'll worry about the snowfall here coming up. So,
Do we have any salt on hand yet?
yes, we have about half a skid left. Because I think, did we get 2 last year? I think we got 2 skids last year, so we still have
Is it
about half
cheaper
a
to
skid
be buying
left.
it now instead of when it gets cold?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I wish we could just buy like Cambridge in bulk, but we'll have a good place to put it. So, it'd be really cheap if we could.
Well, we need to do that, some type of a cement barricade system.
Some kind of
Building
shelter.
to keep water from.
Keep the water out of it. I mean, where we keep our, I guess where we keep our P-fill at, that is concrete, we could probably put some sort of shelter over that to,
Is it just a roof or do you need a full-blown building?
just a roof.
Maybe something to look at next couple of years?
Yeah.
Keep that kind of on your back burner. And then the shelter house is coming up in the park. How's that looking?
Yep, looking good. I just left down there before I come in. I did get a picture. They got the trusses set. They're in the process of putting the frill strips on and getting ready to slide the metal on. So,
Feel pretty good how the project's going? And
yep, everything looks
construction-wise?
good. It's all the code and what it's supposed to be. So, it'll just be a Benny deal.
One thing I would like for you to study, and maybe it'd be this winter, one of the snowy days, the box, I'll call it, especially the bed in this, we'll call it the service truck.
Yes.
It looks like it's rotting out really bad. So if you can kind of get some ideas on numbers, if it would be cheaper to replace that whole box or just to buy a whole new truck that's already got the box on it and sell this one. If you can kind of give us some ideas to look for on that.
Well, we are getting ready to have the timing chain replaced in that truck. It's rattling pretty bad. It's one of those that it sounds like it's going to fly apart when you start it up in the mornings. Every once in a while through the day, it'll do the same thing. So it's just,
We might find it, better for our budget down the road to maybe get a fiberglass box or something instead of a metal one that just rusts away. So if you can study up on some of that stuff when you get a rainy day and need something to do in the office, so that way we can be looking for prices and budgetary items.
Right.
Because that bed looks rough, real rough.
it does look rough. We've knocked the rust off and painted it several times over the last
I'm
couple of
afraid you're
years.
on the shovel going down the street, so.
Well, it's not that bad yet, but I mean, I would say we could probably, as far as the doors, I don't know if you can order, the doors is the biggest thing, the inside of the bed, as far as the compartments are all good, but the doors are significantly rusting. The inside of the bed, we could throw a piece of metal down in it and weld it in and be done with it, if we're gonna put a timing chain in it, the truck don't have that many miles on it, so, I think we're money ahead to put a little money into it and, try to keep from buying a new truck, so. Work more on that this winter, maybe.
Sure. You've been going through your list, it looks like.
Yes, sir.
How many miles are on that truck? I was looking for the fuel on here, I don't see it.
Got 70 on it yet?
don't think so.
I don't think it does. I think it's around 60 something.
How much revenue?
I got 70,684 was the last.
I was
So
thinking
with that-
68 last time I looked at it.
Yeah.
Well, put that on your thinking plate, so. Especially when it starts nickel and diming though, so. Okay, anything else?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Talked about, going to water class, when is that? Just so everybody
It'll
knows.
be in, I don't know,
November
November, yes.
3rd
November 3rd.
through the 6th.
Yeah, that's continuing education hours that you gotta get.
No,
Your
that
license.
will be this next month. That's, I can't think of the date right now, but, 20,
Julie's got you covered though, right?
she does,
Yeah.
yes.
October 21st through the 23rd is your continuing ed.
Yes.
The exam review for his second license is November 3rd through the 6th. And then the test is the 7th.
7. If I can get in for that, it will be an actual penciled in, go to a class, take the test there instead of taking it at Ivy Tech on the computer.
So looking at timing, if you do pass this test, it's in November, what do you say, November 7th?
Mhm.
So- So when would you technically get your license?
When you pass, that one, you won't know you passed for, I think it's a couple of weeks because they don't have a right of way answer. But it'd be a couple of weeks after that I would have them. I mean, with my last license, I got them within a week, so.
So potentially, if you did pass that test, I mean, we could possibly say at the beginning of 2026, we would no longer have to pay for Stuckey's water consultation prices, which would be good for all of us.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Study hard.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody got anything else for Lenny while he's on that hot seat? Okay. Very good. All right, Julie, you're up.
You'll have, probably in the back, you have your fuel report and, you also have a sample of the ordinance, salary ordinance to review, so we can discuss that later. I also have a copy of the notice to taxpayers of our 2026 budget. We will be having a public hearing September 23rd at 6:30 here at the town hall to review that.
You put that on Gateway by the 13th.
It's already on there.
It's already on there.
Mhm. And I did find out, you guys are gonna love it. Starting next year, not this year, but next year, unless they change things for small utilities, Indiana Alliance of Rural Water has notified us that town councils will also have to confirm that you have completed special training like financial management, environmental compliance, and that I'm assuming it'll be online, it'll be a class, and AWWA and Alliance are very good about giving us training materials and templates that we can do to submit for that. So keep that in mind.
Now, is that for the whole board or just for the?
No, that is for the whole board.
You want to say next year's at 26 or 27?
26.
26.
Mhm. And yeah, these will have to be submitted to the Indiana Regulatory Commission, even though we're not part of the IURC. It is something, and it deals with asset management of our water system. That's what it's doing with, so.
Sounds Sounds like a very exciting class.
It is. I think Lenny did that on purpose because he got tired of being the only one going to school, so.
Thanks, Lenny.
Man, I wish I had that kind of book.
Julie, going back to the fuel well,
Uh-huh.
there's nothing for the dump truck. I mean, they use it every day or almost every day.
I've got some, but it's for, they filled it up like the 2nd of September, so I don't
Okay.
have any, I don't think they filled it up in,
Well,
we don't use it
don't-
often enough
it don't
to.
get-
Okay.
It don't go through that school. We're
Okay.
just,
I did-
it never,
Okay.
I did get a
It
ticket
never
though,
leaves
so
town.
I'll have some for September.
Solar power.
Yeah.
cheap truck.
And then we have that opioid agreement.
Yeah, looks like a lot of lawyer talking there.
It is. What did you?
And I didn't really see anything that really come out and say what we get out of the deal.
I think it is a settlement with, I don't even remember who this was with, the Sackler family.
Purdue and Sackler.
Yeah, so basically if we don't have an agreement and they settle, we won't get any funds at all. We don't have to do anything other than agree to be part of the settlement.
That was my bottom line.
Just gotta fill out the form and send it in.
And, yeah,
If you're
and,
not doing this, you can not initiate it then.
No,
So therefore,
no.
if you want part, if you ever want to share part of that, you just go along with it, and there's no room for really negotiating because it's a standard form of all the municipalities.
So this would go into which fund and what could we spend it on?
goes in the opioid fund.
And there's an opioid restricted and an opioid unrestricted.
Yes.
Which one does that go into, or do we know yet?
As far as the
We don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know yet. And
The
they're,
restricted is primarily, I think, in law enforcement.
yeah. So that's
What could we
something,
use it for if we got it? Would it be worth the fight?
well, we don't fight. We don't do anything.
Well, I'm just saying,
that's
as far as
saying-
trying to figure out what fund we could spend it on, we would have to
Mhm.
do a lot of appropriations and move it, or even be allowed to spend it on something.
I'd worry about it once you got there.
Yeah, I mean, we have some in the opioid fund now. It is not a lot. Well, let me see.
Is it part of the budget for next year?
No,
You should budget for this.
I did.
You have it.
Did I,
Budget for something.
did I budget it? Yes, I did. No, I did not. Because we can't use it for anything other than we give it to Cambridge City because of the restrictions right now. No, on either one of them, there's still limitations on what you can and can't use it.
That's what I'm worried about with this one.
But what I'm thinking is eventually, especially for smaller communities, they might say, well, we're gonna open that up, because they've done that with other funds before. That they open it up and say, if you have any funds left, we're gonna open up what you can use it for.
But can we use it for their normal,
I was just
we'll
gonna
call
say,
it
at least for
payroll?
the payment for your normal Cambridge City Police payment.
I don't know, I would think
so.
we could do
If
that.
there's a contract for it,
Because,
that's
I
not
mean,
a law enforcement expense.
they're using, it's part of that contract is for them to have the means for if somebody ODs and that kind of stuff, so I don't know why we couldn't.
Basically providing 24/7 coverage with a
Yeah.
Narcan kit in their car.
Right. I was trying to find a way that we could give it to the fire department, but they don't give it to fire departments, but they will give it to police.
If we can, convert it to the payment fund, that would
Yep.
definitely help everybody.
I will check and make sure of that, but I don't see why we can't
It would
do,
reduce what you have to otherwise pay for
Exactly.
general.
exactly.
There should be a pretty good list that you can find on what it
Yeah.
can be used for.
And I've
I
had
think the
people,
last couple of years, they've changed a little bit of it too, but.
I've had people reach out, to see if we had funds and what we were, appropriating them for. And then they never got back with me, but they were wanting to do a program in Richmond, and I'm like, I would rather see it go here, the fire department, the police department, or something local before I would give it to Richmond. But,
So we need approval to fill out the form and make sure we are eligible to receive if there is a settlement.
If there is a settlement, future settlements for the opioid.
Would somebody like to make a
So
motion?
we'll make a motion to sign and approve the new national opioid settlement.
No, second.
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion passes, ma'am.
Okay. I think that's all I have. Are we going to discuss or vote or table? What are we doing on the lawnmower?
Coming up.
Okay. I didn't
It's
put it
gonna
on
be
here,
a-
so I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Before we get buried into that, I think we'll probably be all in agreement, just so that we can go ahead and spread the word, and make, advertising for trick or treat. They talked to Cambridge, and they're gonna have theirs as usual on the 31st from 6 to 8. So we stay with that, so if everybody's okay with that, that way it can be publicized. Because by the time we have our meeting in October, it's usually getting kind of late to advertise, so.
Yep.
So if everybody's okay with October 31 at 6 to 8, that's a Friday,
Yep.
so, okay. Blessing of the board.
Okay.
What do you want us to do with the salary ordinance?
That's just for you guys to review.
That'll be coming up at the budget meeting?
It'll
or
be
just-
coming up next month.
Okay. And we're good on payroll still for the part-timers, or the seasonal,
Seasonal's done, he's no longer,
Okay.
so,
We just have our 2 full-time and our part-time, correct?
yes,
And we're good financially for all those fellows?
yes.
Very good. All right, does anyone have anything else? If not, we will talk about this ordinance 2-2025, talking about the mopeds, scooters, golf carts, lawnmowers.
Of course, you already have it for the golf carts, mopeds. This is just whether you add one or two.
You're probably gonna need to look at the moped section of that also, because that's now regulated by the state.
The what?
The moped section of it.
Oh, yeah, we need
It's
to
it's regulated by the state now.
take that off of there. We need to take that off of our title.
Is there anything at all covering the children's bikes?
There is a specific statute on bicycles. It doesn't get enforced a lot, but there is still some statute on that.
I mean, they give these things out for awards at the schools, so it's kind of,
The electric?
Yeah.
Oh,
uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm not sure where electric bikes will fall in that.
They go fast, I'll tell you,
Yeah,
scared
I've
me to
seen
death.
some of them that do. It'll probably take a while for the statute to catch up to the, modern day, but that's what typically happens. These things are still relatively new. I'm not seeing a lot of them here, but
yeah, there are bigger
they're coming.
cities.
They
Yeah.
are coming.
So if you look on page number 2 under B where it says golf cart, I think everything underlined, if I'm not mistaken, Bob, is everything that you've added, changed, corrected, given to us. Personally, I'm still struggling with the whole thing. I see both sides of the situation.
I do too.
But
Shame you had
it's hard to get insurance on this thing. It feels hard for me to tell somebody for your mower, you gotta get a turn signal on it and a brake light. When stuff like that, you can't go to Walmart and buy that kind of stuff, so I'm struggling with that.
Has anybody talked to any insurance companies to see if they'll even cover that?
We did talk to Bowman and they were like,
They reached out to theirs. That's the only person I went to was Bonenthal's. He reached out to his, and none of them would. None of them are covering anything like that at this time. And even on the lawnmowers on your property, it's a general.
Under
It's
your
just a general
homeowners, but it only covers on your property.
on your property, right?
so I'm wondering, just kind of speaking out loud, if we can maybe do something to the extent that you have to be a certain age, have a driver's license. And I think maybe that would cover the situation we're falling into.
I'm liking this, yeah.
I don't know about the fee part,
Gets rid of
but,
the
you know,
kids.
I don't know about the license plate part. I mean, it's,
I mean, I think if it $25 golf cart permit, they should have $25 the same permit.
but I mean, you know, if they're driving their yard, they turn around in the street and come back in the yard, I mean, that's, 30 seconds in the street. Are we gonna require somebody to have a license plate on their mower to do that? That's what's gonna be a struggle. And then, of course, getting Richard's guys to enforce this is gonna be.
That
the
would definitely be a challenge, because somebody's always gonna have the argument.
I mean, other than if we
I'm
got a
going to
habitual
and from.
offender that's, driving from
Well,
one
I know,
town
but
to
if
town every
there's no
day,
deck,
but-
they're clearly not using it for
Yeah.
landscaping.
Well, but what if
So-
they're pulling a trailer with a weed eater in the back of it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of what ifs, I guess, but
Yeah, that's it.
but I see what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. Some of them have PTO on them too. They may have a tiller attachment on it. I mean, it's still, I'm not sure.
Talking amongst your friends across the state, have you heard anybody do anything like this
I
yet?
have not. I don't know if Bob has or not.
Not directly, but some. And I would point out that there is some thought, and I'm not advocating this, but there's some thought that even if it's not enforced, it's better to have it on the books for liability purposes.
Sure.
That way, if somebody's ever injured that way, and somebody says, why didn't the town do something about it? You would say, hey, as part of our town code, it is prohibited. Whether that even gets you off the hook, but some would take the position that adds to your defensibility if you have it on there, even if you know it might not be enforced all the time.
What if it says something to the effect like if you are not using it for actual mowing purposes on your property, that you have to have a state-issued license? And maybe that would just cover all the issues with it.
State don't have that.
No, driver's
Driver's
license.
license.
Yeah, okay.
Operating
No, I like
permit.
that.
Driver's
and
license
the
or
age.
ID or driver's license?
A driver's license at 16
Or
or 18.
Yeah.
And that's going to apply to
Because they're not gonna get the
everybody.
license till they're 16. anyway.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Are some of the younger kids mowing yards around town?
Well, that's what I'm saying, if they're
I
not
don't
using it
know,
for lawn mowing purposes.
Some of the mowing crews may have hired, high school kids to work during the summer to help them out too.
So that's what I'm saying, if it's not used for lawn mowing purposes, that's the
So
issue
that's
we're
the
running
only time you have
into.
to have a driver's license?
Yeah, basically, if it's on the road for non-mowing purposes. I don't know if you can spit that out in so many words, but trying to cover all the bases and blanket it.
How many mowers do we think we're having a problem with?
2 probably.
2 or 3, I've seen 3.
And what's the biggest complaint on it? Because they're right on the sidewalks, or?
They're just using it as a mode of transportation, so you can't
But
drive.
outside
Are
of
people
that,
complaining about it? Is it causing any problem?
that's what that's what I
I
guess
think
what I'm
the
getting
concern
at.
is the liability if they hit somebody, if they don't have
But
insurance.
if I ride my bicycle, I don't have insurance. When I hit your car, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is that, one particular night at night here, one road by, or something, we're already in bed, and it's 10 o'clock at night, somebody's using their lawnmower. They're definitely not mowing grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may fall under a different, ordinance.
You
more
could
like
have the same
noise
thing
or
with a
something, but-
side-by-side or anything else that,
But those are licensed through the state
Right,
to
that's
operate,
what,
so.
and we have the
Even in
golf
town,
cart
yeah.
policy, so I think
Yeah.
you just can't say this is, you have to have this for your golf cart, you have to have this for your side-by-side, but you can just ride this free will nilly-nilly. It wasn't made as a mode of transportation.
Like I said, we had a guy who rode from Hopper to the truck stop at one time, so he stayed on the shoulder, but still, he did that routinely because he didn't have a driver's license.
Did you stop?
And it's more of it's flipped where, golf carts can go a little bit fast, ATVs can go fast, side-by-sides can fly. But they go so slow that someone could hit them if they don't have the tail lights and that kind of stuff, depending on the time of day.
Well, maybe you
So
could regulate the time of day that it could be used, would be a better, focus on, you can't go from
Just say during
8 a.m.
daylight
in the morning
hours.
to, 9 o'clock at night, no operation of lawnmowers or whatever, however you want to word it, but that might cover some of it.
You just, generally say daylight hours. That might
Yeah,
cover
because,
it.
I mean, the mowing crews,
Still restricting like Russ from walking his dog with it. And he's got health problems, he can't walk the dog, the
Yeah.
dog needs walked.
But he has a driver's license, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't cause an issue for George.
But are you gonna require him to pay $25 and get a license?
That's the question that I'm not sure about, is the license plate part.
Because we already know that you can't necessarily get insurance on it, but.
Yeah.
And
The
I
insurance
get-
thing, I think, you may be overthinking that too, because there's plenty of people out there driving cars that don't have insurance.
Right.
I carry uninsured motorists on all my vehicles simply because of that fact.
Right.
So you can't regulate it all, you know what I mean?
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate only because I get the other side of that comes in here. If, Bob says, well, yeah, it's better to have it on the books, whether we truly enforce it or not. And we enforce it this one time, that's gonna be their argument, well, he does it, he does it, he
Yeah,
does it, and
absolutely.
you ticketed me.
Absolutely.
But, we can always come back and say, but as a police officer, I saw you and I got you, but that's what comes in here.
Yeah.
And that's what calls in here.
And I'm not saying I made that
No,
argument.
no,
I said that
no,
argument
you
can
mentioned
be
it,
made.
yes, no, I know that, yes.
Yeah, I think we may be trying to overregulate this thing somewhat. We're getting into things that everyday common usage and all of a sudden you tell people they can't do it.
Well, I think the
And-
issue
and
is the
it's not
mowers
like-
that are not mowing.
But it's not like, we're not like Richmond, they're not running there, but we don't have car traffic on our streets all the time, or we're
I
pretty
don't know,
late.
I feel like mine's
I
turned
feel
into an
like
interstate.
48 is busy
Well,
and
45
Johnson is busy.
I got one of those blink cameras now, that thing goes off every
Oh,
30
yeah.
seconds.
Even in my alley, it's just,
So I don't know, I feel like maybe something like to the fact that you have to have a driver's license to operate it on the street and maybe a slow moving sign on the rear of it, and only operate it during daylight hours.
Yeah,
That's reasonable.
yeah. Think so.
Children, other than like I say that, I don't know if back when I was a kid, that was one of your main exercises there. We didn't have riding lawnmowers. You had to push one to go somewhere with it. But that was one of your main sources of income when you was 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. In the summer, it was get you a couple of yards from those, you'd have cook money Saturday night.
And again, this is only if you're using it for non-lawn.
Correct.
So that 14-year-old can still drive it for lawn.
Yes.
But would he still have?
But still need to have a slow moving sign on the
Or
back.
would he have to have a driver's license though? If the 14-year-old's driving a mower from this yard to that yard, are you gonna require him to have a driver's license if it's 4 blocks away?
Well, I would say, if it's not, non-lawn mowing issue is what I'm worried about with the license.
I mean, the one going to the
Basically,
mail.
Basically,
all the
So
way
you're
from
gonna
Honeycutt
say,
every
as
day?
long as you're mowing, you don't have to have a driver's license, but if you're not mowing, you have to have a driver's license.
Using
It's
it
not
for
being
mowing
used for
purposes.
mowing purposes. So like going to the mail from Honeycutt every day,
Turn it into a
that's
go-kart,
dangerous.
basically.
Yeah, it is.
Those are busy roads.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
But to do that just for one person doing that isn't,
It's
I don't
not
know.
just one person.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that particular instance there, but,
As far as for safety and insurance purposes, is one any different than the other? They're both out there driving on the road.
Driver's license, what about state ID?
I don't know what the difference is as far as age are on that.
you can get an ID at 15, a state issued ID.
Does that get you anything other than just identification purposes?
That's basically.
people that, yeah.
It used
People
to-
that don't have a driver's license, that can't get their license for one reason or another, can have an ID.
I think I would stay with the license, then, the issue is what I'm thinking we're headed down, so.
Yeah.
Okay, Bobby, you kind of half clear on where we're going with this?
Nope.
Claire's mad.
I think non-mowing on the street requires a driver's license and a slow-moving sign or some type of reflective device on the rear of it.
When you say non-mowing, are you gonna need to be more specific than that? Because
No deck.
if you're just gonna say non-mowing, then
You're not mowing.
if I'm driving from here to the 5 blocks down, and I'm not mowing while I'm driving down there, but if it doesn't have a deck on it, it's not capable of mowing.
He said, he clarifies it, if the use and or driving of the lawnmower is solely related to providing lawn maintenance.
Gotcha.
And I agree with that.
That makes sense.
Bob's over here like, you guys are crazy.
And bring the mountain out and mow it.
So require driver's license, hours of operation, just daylight, and a slow moving sign on the back. But only if not being used for
Yeah.
non-maintenance services.
I think we're doing an awful lot of discussing and ordinancing to affect 2 or 3 people that are basically abusing the right to use it. But do we need to make this, you make an ordinance to stop that, or is it kind of?
Well, like I say, you're getting some on the books if it's needed, I guess, for.
And it was one, and then you see another, and then you see another, and then you see another. And I think it's just gonna continue as
Kinda like
everybody
the
sees
golf
it,
carts
because
and
I
that. It's
already
like,
have
ooh,
one.
That's a good idea.
Yep, I already have one, ready to
Yeah.
go. So I'm just gonna start cruising around, and then it's gonna be one more, and then one more, and it'll be where now 20 people are cruising around.
So are we just stipulating hours, driver's license, slow moving vehicle, or are they coming to me to get a plate?
I don't think
No
we need to
permit.
do that
Permit,
yet.
no nothing, okay.
I think that's kind of going crazy with the permit
I
part.
I
like
think
the
personally,
hours
I
and
asked
slow
you.
moving vehicle, I like that.
Okay.
Now my next question, I hate to open up scabs, but how do snowmobiles fall into this place? Is there a state law on those?
They are regulated by the state.
Okay. So are they allowed to be on the side streets?
I'm not sure on, on the county roads definitely, if they have the state licensing, they're kind of like a UTV, fall under kind of the same thing. I'm not sure, I don't think the town has an ordinance.
We don't have any ordinance on snowmobile, that's why I didn't know if the state said it was okay as long as you got the plate.
Well,
that works.
but the UTVs even aren't allowed to be in town as long as if the town doesn't have an ordinance saying permitting it.
Well, we don't have one denying it, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right,
So,
that may be something you need to look at, and if it becomes a
I
problem.
know, I got the state sticker on mine.
Right. You can ride it on a county road or, something like that, but as far as in the city limits,
I thought
Probably
we followed
not
the
legal.
state rules.
I'm sorry.
I thought we followed the state rules.
But we have to make ordinances to say that.
Yeah, it's just like UTVs, there was no, the state came up with the rules on that, and then the towns have to adopt ordinances to say, oh, yes, it's okay for you to ride it within the corporation limits. The county allows it in the county. I think, for example, like Richmond doesn't allow it still, and I know they've been approached a couple times about UTVs, and they don't allow it. To my knowledge, they haven't passed it, where Dublin has and Cambridge City has. But snowmobiles are different, as far, there's no ordinance, we don't even have an ordinance down there on that either, that I can think of.
My understanding, you can't ride them at all in Randolph County.
That's possible.
Somebody said that you can't, nothing other than motor vehicles are allowed on the road up there.
There are some exceptions to that, if you're pulling a farm implement or something like that, using it on a farm, but as far as the state goes, yeah, I'm not sure on that, on the snowmobiles.
But they do have to have headlights, turn signals, that kind of stuff, license through the state.
That's very possible, yeah. I'm not up to date on all the laws on that, because we don't have a snowmobile problem at this point. Hopefully it stays that way.
I'm talking about UTVs.
Yeah, you have to have insurance and, and all that too, so.
Normally don't have.
But that's something that's capable of going 40, 50 miles an hour also.
Normally don't have enough
Well,
snow
more
around here to
than-
accommodate a snowmobile.
right. I'm just thinking if somebody comes off of Golden Road, comes down State Street in town, then we transitioned from the county to the city now, so.
If that becomes a problem down the road, and I think you guys maybe need to look at it at this point, I don't think we're having an issue with that. I can't recall the last time I got a snowmobile complaint. I'm not saying this year we get a foot of snow and it'll happen, but you know how that
Last
goes.
year out there on Federal Road, running up down the road.
Yeah, you see them, in the rural areas.
But as far as we're concerned, as far as the public's concerned, that we do not currently allow them because we don't have an
Correct.
ordinance allowing them.
Correct.
Okay. Just once people start asking, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear as mud down there?
Sure.
Perfect.
I'm just not sure, for insurance, you're talking about insurance purposes, do you think somebody riding the lawnmower is gonna run into somebody and cause serious death or
Well, Nathan posted one the other day, somebody died.
from a lawnmower?
Yes.
Not the
I
person
think
on
the
it, somebody
person
else?
hit them, didn't they?
I don't
They
know
were
what
on a, they were on
the
a
story
state
was,
highway.
but it wasn't a city street, no, it was like a state highway.
It was a state,
It was
like 40.
fatality.
Somebody ran into there.
Yeah.
I'd say for going too slow, like I said, that can be,
And see, I'm not sure how
Yeah,
that would fall
problem.
either, Bob, you know, as far, because Cumberland is a state highway,
Yeah.
whether it's enforceable, even if you do pass it on.
But this is, all we can enforce is on the
City
town
streets.
streets.
Yeah.
Where the UTVs are a little different, they can, there is some specific statute on those as far as where they can ride them. So it's kind of out of your hands on that part of it, but, golf carts, you're not supposed to ride on 40 either. You can
Right.
cross it, perpendicular, but you're not supposed to ride it.
Yeah.
Now, we've all seen people that do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and say we haven't, but
You see a lot of it came.
you do some. Yeah, well,
See a lot of
if you don't, you gotta go clear to Delaware and go around on the bridge to get, one side of the town to the other
Right.
because of Main Street Bridge, so,
Right.
you're kind of limited, so
The river's probably.
if they're not causing a problem, we're not necessarily messing with it that much, but, I know that's on camera now, I shouldn't have said that, but, it is what it is.
Not
though.
everybody's excited.
All right, so we're gonna table 20-2025 for further review and changes.
I don't know if that's where we need to go or not.
Okay, we did it earlier, but make sure everybody on the camera does know there will be a zoning board meeting here on
Thursday, September 18th.
Thursday. I was looking for the Thursday part. September 18th, 6:30, right here in the Dublin Town Hall. And this will be for the tap room and for what other, did I miss?
Gabbard's
Setback.
setback.
Gabbard setback, I don't know what that means, but.
Buildings are supposed to be so many feet apart from one another, they want to install something that's not that full distance
Gotcha.
in front of them.
Okay. Do we need to, you want me to read that out loud? Just a salute.
Just, you don't have to read it as it is, but we need to thank her
Okay.
for all her.
And does this remain an anonymous?
Yes.
Okay. So we did have an anonymous lady, and I say lady because she's 70 years old, went down to the South Lawn Cemetery and did a lot of, we'll call it yard work, and kind of cleaning the place up. And I assume she has family in there, probably.
She had her son.
Son help her. I mean, as far as family that's in the cemetery, it's the reason
Yes.
she had interest in it.
Yes.
So she spent a lot of time and when it was hot this summer, and we all know how hot it was, so we want to give her a big pat on the back, even though we can't say what her name is. But hopefully she'll see us on camera and hear us saying thank you. So we do appreciate the volunteerism. Yes, sir.
After our meeting last month, Rex and I went down by there, and they were there right then, working on that and doing one heck of a good job.
Great.
Yeah, I'd say too that the tree trimming they did there looks very nice, and it actually, for us now, we can, when we're driving through, we can actually see through the cemetery.
Yeah.
You don't have, it's not all blocked, so that's definitely beneficial.
Good.
And it looks good.
And I will say our guys have taken that to the next step and pulled out some shrubs and stuff. They've been working on that the last couple of days, so
Good job, lady.
keep it going.
Why can't we not, do we recognize this lady? She done something good in the town.
She doesn't
Doesn't
want
want recognition.
Oh,
recognition.
I missed that part.
Yeah. Just good volunteering in the small towns. What makes small towns better? We all pitch in and do stuff, so that's what it's all about. All right, does anyone have any other business to bring up before we end the night with paying the bills and approving the financial report?
That's just a half, because you approved it.
Oh, yes, we did.
Verbal
Okay.
Changes on it, but
Okay.
I did a clean personnel policy after you agreed that with the verbal changes, we made it clear that the guys were all right to limit driving their lunch vehicles just within the town limits. That's going to be the last part. That the 10-hour days were going to be for the full year, not just daylight savings hours. And that when you're paying for holiday pay, it would be for a 10-hour day, not an 8-hour day. So there's a clean motion if you want that. And I took all the red lines.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You hear that?
Motion to pay the bills.
Make a motion to accept the financial or the claims as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. The final of the night will be the financial report. Julie, are we looking good as we wind down the year with only a couple of months left? Any concerns we should be aware of?
No, this time.
Great.
Still got a quarter.
We're getting close.
I make a motion to accept the financial as presented.
Got Christmas lights.
Second.
We got an approval by Rex and a second by Bree. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so motion passes. Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right, so moved, and we will see everybody on September the 23rd, 6:30 for a public hearing here for the water grant and the budget.
And then